Welcome back to another episode of the Never Normal Podcast. I'm your host, Brad. This is my co-host, partner in crime, partner in life, Casey. Welcome back.
That's my name?
Yeah. Welcome back. You haven't been on in a little bit.
I know you all miss the beard.
No, I am happy to be filming again. I was looking at the calendar, and the season 1 of the podcast ends at the end of this month. So we only have a few more episodes to go. And then we'll take a small break. And then October, we'll have some new content. Also, thank you guys for listening to the podcast. We're getting towards our goal of 50 listeners. And everything, and it's super exciting on Anchor. That's exciting. Our YouTube channel is growing. You guys are super supportive, and we appreciate you. Casey, how have you been?
I have been okay.
So you know a little bit about what we're talking about tonight.
I'd say I do. That's right.
But first I want to talk about how dramatic I am.
She's very dramatic.
Anyways, so I went. This is a really dumb story. It doesn't have anything to do with the podcast, but I can't get over it because it just screams to me the story of my life. So I went to the doctor yesterday. We're switching up medications, and they're like, I'm boring him already. He's yawning. But they were like, hey, get a B12 shot just to make sure your body's levels are, you know what I mean? Levels are good, all that jazz. And I'm like, cool, whatever. So I go to pick it up, right? And I pay for it. And the pharmacist gives me this pill bottle that has a vial in it. And he opens it and he's like, oh, so yeah, so you'll just take this whole milliliter vial, put it in your syringe, and it has to go in the muscle under the skin. And we had this moment where we looked at each other, and I was like, oh, hell no. I'm not doing that. I was like, I have no idea how to do this. And he was like, so you've never given yourself a shot before? I said, no, I'm terrified of needles. Why would I do that? So then I call my doctor's office, and I go over there, and they give me the shot, and I was sitting there minding my own beeswax, and they're like, yeah, just hang out for 10 minutes, make sure you don't have a reaction or anything. You shouldn't, because it's just a vitamin shot. They did in fact think I was having a reaction. Sat there for 5 minutes, and I was almost like, oh, we're good to go, and suddenly felt very dizzy, very warm. And then they rushed over there, and it was like a big deal. And then, of course, my doctor comes in, and I'm very embarrassed, and we laugh about it. But it's just showing how dramatic my body is. It was a flippin' B12 shot in my body.
I was asleep at this time.
Casey was asleep at home at this time. But it's just so frustrating how your body can be so dramatic sometimes. And it's like, for what? Why? But I feel fine now. I'm just tired. But I feel fine. False alarm, I guess. High five. False alarms. Wow. Casey, what are we talking about today?
That paper. Right there. I synced it.
I took notes.
Moving on
I took
up.
notes.
Fancy
Moving on up.
Technology there.
Do you know what? Don't read my paper. You can't cheat on the test. Because we talked about doing a podcast on this before, but he sometimes lurks in the woods.
He bounds very slowly, just out of focus.
Yes, and he's always captured moving quickly, running away, or really weird blurred pictures.
He looks like he stinks.
Some say that he does.
Especially Florida people.
It's not Mothman. I know you guys probably thought, as much as I love Mothman, our first cryptid we would talk about would be Mothman.
What would Mothman smell like?
Honestly, Stetson. Stetson cologne. He's a classy man.
I want to say sawdust. He looks like he smells like sawdust.
I'll take it.
Like he's just a lumberjack. With
Yeah.
wings.
Could you imagine
He's here to save the forest.
Mothman just like barreling through those romance book commercials, and he's got like an open plaid shirt, and he's just got an axe, and his wings are just...
He's a 10, but he has a long beard. I'm hip with the times.
We are with the times. We're talking about Bigfoot.
Old big feet.
Feet of the big.
A little monster truck action. He crushes cars down at the county fair.
Gravedigger was my favorite, though.
Oh no, a maximum destruction. Futuristic SUV all day.
Gravedigger. But there's a theme here. I loved The Undertaker when I was a kid.
He didn't drive
As far as
monster
wrestling.
trucks.
No, but it's like on theme.
What if he did?
What if Undertaker drove Gravedigger into the wrestling ring, ran over the ring, but jumped out and just, bam.
No. Like, he gets out, like, in the competition, and he just, like, grabs hold of the opposing monster truck and just pile drives it. The whole truck.
That, or what if he gets in the cage match and he whips out his remote control Gravedigger and just causes chaos on the stage.
Can you imagine? Running over people's toes.
Fun times. But, everyone knows who Bigfoot is, really. You know what I mean? Like, he's in pop culture now. They, could be a she, they're in pop culture now. I have a sticker for my car I have yet to put on there of Bigfoot that says, "Ew, people." Actually, according to my notes here, he was the social distancing champion of 2020. Was Bigfoot.
I suppose I could see that.
Yeah. Do you know anything about Bigfoot?
Oh, let me tell you. We got the fur. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I seen him out there in the woods that one time. He was stinking.
We don't have
like
to
a
sling
skunk.
blade. We don't have to sling blade.
Oh, I thought you did.
Oh, when we talk about him, you have to sound like that?
Yeah, you gotta
That's
get in character.
Oh, okay. Is that your character?
I guess.
Okay. So there's some other names for Bigfoot. Such as Sasquatch, Skunk Ape, Almas, Yevon, Yeti, and the Australian Yowie.
No. Yetis are not big feet.
It's
It's like a polar bear to a grizzly bear. It ain't the same.
They're associated. They're like Asia's Bigfoot. They're like associated. They're distant cousins.
Well, that's like Canada's Bigfoot. Up there in the snowy parts.
Which is Sasquatch.
Listen, Sasquatch, if you're out there,
We need like a down low on the name. Like, what should we call you? There's a lot of different names.
what if it's just like Terry?
You know what, though? I would respect that.
Just his name is Terry.
Yeah.
It's unisex. It could go either way.
Yeah. It could be I or a Y. Or Teary.
Or an AE.
Ooh, Terry.
Terry.
So the description for Bigfoot is tall, ape-like, covered in hair with human-like facial features. They're usually about 10 to 15 foot tall. So they're pretty big.
Lightweights.
They often have an odor. Whether it's
I would imagine with all the
whether
hair.
it's like
You ever met a hairy man? They often have odors.
some people, I've seen some articles where it says they smell like a wet dog, and some say where it smells like a skunk, such as Skunk Ape is where that's associated. I think that there's maybe different tribes of them, where some of them might their pheromones do smell like skunks, or some are smelling like wet dogs or musty or sawdust.
Like, all I'm saying is, I've been to Washington State, and it's the cleanest air I've ever smelt. I can't imagine anything would stink up there.
Truthfully, just the air bathes you when you walk around in
That's
Washington
true.
State. They're often said to be territorial, but also elusive.
Get off my lawn.
Hides behind tree.
Right.
Wait, I should have made like a little cutout, and we could have just
Should've got the
moved them
sticker
around.
and
Yeah,
just
the
put it up
little.
there.
like those little felt boards.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be nice.
So
Keep Mothman up here.
that would be so cute. As we go through the cryptids, just add them to them. That'd be so sweet. So
Thoughts for the future.
yes. So history actually goes back to Native American folklore. There's depictions of what they call hairy man, like throughout Native history all over the United States, which I thought was really cool. I didn't really put two and two together on that. I don't know why that I ever thought that maybe they would see something like that, but apparently they have, which is really cool. Petroglyphs in Central California at the I might butcher this, please forgive me. Tule Indian Reservation depict a family, and the petroglyph is said to be between 500 and 1,000 years old. I saw a picture of it. It was really cool. It literally looks like a kindergartner drew Bigfoot. It was like really tall, and it was just like really hairy.
When I was in kindergarten, I drew my dad with a mohawk.
Did your dad have hair then?
Well, because he was balding right here,
Yeah.
so his hair grew in the middle, but I didn't know how to properly depict it.
Like,
so.
yeah, the widow's peak.
Well, yeah, except it was like just like a straight line of hair, and then like all of his hair was back here, but the picture was like of your parents or of your, I guess, dad in their workplace. So he just had a mohawk, and my teacher was like, "Why does your dad have a mohawk?" Sorry, I get distracted.
Wow.
So I don't know what kind of drawings you were doing in kindergarten, but my dad had a mohawk, but not actually a mohawk.
In kindergarten, I was drawing horses. Horse girl. Anyways. There's been over 10,000 sightings in the U.S., which is a lot less than I thought there would be. Because
Like in total? Like
yeah,
in U.S.
recorded.
history?
No, just recorded.
Oh. I see.
But it's kind of like with ghosts. Everyone and their daggone mom knows some Uncle Paul, Larry somewhere that's like, yeah, I seen old Sasquatch out there in the hills up in back there. You know, he's running. We were too afraid to shoot him, so we ran back toward the house. Like, that's my impression. But anyways, like, you know,
Who's
someone.
Uncle Paul hurt you?
My Uncle Paul's fantastic, actually. I like him.
I had an Uncle Paul too.
But so I figured there would be a higher volume of recorded sightings because he's so popular now.
But with more sightings, then there would be more evidence of said Mr. Foot.
And that's true. A lot of things that even cryptozoologists, that's a big word, say that a lot of the quote-unquote evidence that's been given is so hoaxy.
Oh yeah, because everybody and their mama's like, yeah, we can just gorilla shoot it.
I know, people in a ghillie suit just running rampant in the woods. And it's bad when the cryptozoologists and conspiracy theorists are also like, hey, this is fake AF. When the people who literally like eat, breathe, and sleep that.
Yeah, I've seen many ones that I'm just like, I ain't never seen no Bigfoot run no woods, but I sure as heck know a CGI when I seen one.
Well, that, but also you can really tell in a lot of videos, because I love to watch the video ones that show paranormal caught on camera that we watch sometimes, and we look at it, and it's very clearly like someone put on a costume.
Damn Scooby-Doodle.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's very clearly like someone was just out in the woods trying to get a reaction out of people having fun. Kind of thing. But I didn't know this, that sightings actually hit their peak in the 70s.
Oh, so everybody was just on drugs seeing
So
hairy men in the
everyone
woods.
was just like,
Everybody was on drugs and not well bathed, so they were probably smelling some skunk, if you know what I mean.
well, the 70s was a wild time. So
Why is that Bigfoot got on tie-dye?
there's this account that I follow on TikTok, and it's a Sasquatch costumer doing various things, like playing the saxophone.
Sax Squatch. I love that guy.
I absolutely... And I always stumble across... I have insomnia, so I always stumble across it when I can't sleep and I'm just scrolling through TikTok aimlessly, and then they'll be live, like, with a sweatband on and aviators just jamming in their Bigfoot outfit. It's so comforting. You know, if Bigfoot was real, it's probably that guy, and we all think that it's a joke. What if it was? Cute X-Files theme. So, I found this study of 2019 and its numbers for Bigfoot sightings. You can't look at my paper. That's cheating on the test. Anyways, so Washington State had over 2,000 sightings in 2019. California, over 1,600. Pennsylvania, of all places, 1,300.
Have you seen how much mountains are there?
No, I've never been.
I drove through there once on a semi. It was horrible. Hilly.
Hilly? Yeah.
A lot of downhill slopes.
Yeah. Plenty of places to hide for Bigfoot, huh?
It really was, like, really hilly. And then, like, you would have, like, random exits just, like, hiding in the middle of all the hills.
Wow. Pennsylvania is wild.
Was not my favorite place to drive.
New York and Oregon have over 1,000. Texas comes in at just over 800 Bigfoot sightings.
Now, I have seen quite a few Bigfoots on my truck driving route. They're not what you're thinking, though. Over there in the western side of the states, a lot of people like to put out like the little cutouts of
the metal
Bigfoots.
signs.
There's one on my route.
I want one.
I know where to steal one.
When we do our plan, we need to get one. Which we're not going to tell you guys until everything is in motion.
Yeah, that guy will never see us stealing his Sasquatch.
No, not stealing your Sasquatch. Sir, if you're listening and your Sasquatch is missing, shoot me a message. I'll just give you our address because it will probably be here. We're not stealing people's Bigfoot. Santa's watching. It's not nice. Anyways.
What if Santa was Bigfoot?
What if he was? What if he's best friends with Bigfoot? See, we could go with this all day because Bigfoot just...
What if Santa, because they say he has a long white beard, what if he's really just a Yeti and it's Bigfoot's cousin?
Yeah. And then...
Rudolph was wrong.
And the Easter Bunny was Bigfoot.
No, that's just a giant rabbit.
Instead of Peter Cottontail.
What?
Have you ever heard of Peter Cottontail?
Not as the Easter Bunny?
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, we're going to take a quick break. But first, I want to talk about our sponsor for today. Are you ready? The sponsor for today is my sanity because it's going out the window. It's on sale now. 75% off. We'll be right back, you guys.
Get that twirl in there.
Welcome back to the podcast. Casey is...
It's like a giant mustache.
For those of you listening and not watching, I don't even know how to describe this. How would you describe that?
I just did. Like a giant mustache.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Are you done acting out now? Can we continue the episode? Are you good? I don't like that split in the... Why did you lick your eyebrow? Anyways. Sorry. We're all over the place. So, a third of the claims, getting back to Bigfoot, thank you all for joining. I had a random hair in my mouth. That's great. A third of the claims are from the Pacific Northwest.
And over half of them are from the Pacific Northwest. It's a hard word to say.
Wow. But no, like a third of the claims are from the Pacific Northwest, which, if you look at the map, because I did pull up a map, a lot of the claims are in Washington and around that general area. It's very woodsy, extremely woodsy.
I was there.
Yeah. You drove, when you were a truck driver, you drove what, apples through there? Was it apples?
That's right. You ain't lived till you come down a mountain hauling 8
80,000 pounds of apples.
Casey was a truck driver at one point in time.
So many apples.
Was it beautiful though?
It was during the Apple Wars.
It was not during the Apple Wars. Oh. Everyone was throwing their iPhones at each other.
Yes. It's like dodgeball, but with apples.
Their MacBooks just decapitating. Oh, we should make a short film called The Apple Wars.
It's not going to go nearly as
Or like you have a tribal group that's got like apples, and
it was
you
like
have
Android users versus like iPhone users,
and it's just like an epic kung fu battle.
But ultimately, the iPhone users lost because a new version came out and they had to go buy it. That's right.
I'm an iPhone user. It's okay. So I want.
Yeah. First of all, the trees out there were just fantastic. It was like,
I heard that they're really big out there. They're bigger than what, as far as trees, what we have here.
they have sequoias.
Yeah.
Which are gigantic. But
I see them.
So that's more like a California thing though. But like up there, you know, like the old like Pine Sol commercial, you know the one I'm talking about where that lady is like worshiping the aroma. That's kind of like what it was. It was like the cleanest air. But ironically, you also pay for the air there. There is a fresh air tax on their fuel, and it's ridiculous.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't.
So it would be like the perfect place for Bigfoot, though.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Like
he likes
fresh
to breathe
air.
clean.
That could be very important to him or them. That could be very important. 'Cause like.
It was the only time during my truck driving fiasco that I drove with the windows down on that truck.
Yeah.
Because it just smelled so great out there. So I opened up my vent windows and then dropped the mains and just let the air flow through the truck.
I want to fly there just to walk out into the woods and smell the air
drive.
and then just come back home.
No, the drive would be way better.
Just walk out there and go, and then just.
Fair.
Okay.
Fair.
So, a 2020 study says 1 in 10 Americans think that Bigfoot is real.
That's it. You guys are lightweights. I need more.
Yeah, we can do better than that. Washington actually has laws and ordinances against harming or killing Bigfoot. You can be fined up to $10,000.
Well, that's it.
That was the base.
It should be more.
It should be. If you heard our boy, we're coming for you. Bigfoot research is often called Sasquatching, or as we would like to say, squatching.
Well, we got a little on squatching.
There's actually some shows that I watched a couple episodes of that I thought was neat. Mountain Monsters, which is the Southern people.
What, is that the guys who go through the woods and all of their clothes are miraculously super freaking clean?
No. These are the guys dressed in camo with the hats.
Yeah, super clean, like not a bit of them are dirty. I question you on that, because I've been in these woods. You ain't walking through them without getting dirty.
But there's some
You stepped
episodes.
off the main road. You parked your car, got out, and you're standing on the main road. Don't you lie to me.
It's okay, honey. Relax. Anyways, there's a couple episodes where they're looking for Bigfoot, and then there's also Expedition Bigfoot, and I watched some of it, and it's actually pretty cool. It's pretty compelling. They were at the Bigfoot Festival.
Well,
The Smoky Mountain Bigfoot Festival, which we really should go to next year, because my friend went and said it was great.
also, I believe in one of our episodes we discussed the horrible cry that my dad and I heard from atop the ridge.
Campcast.
Yeah, Campcast.
I'll link it up in
About
here.
a week or so after that, there was multiple teams of Bigfoot hunters in East Tennessee over our way.
They
So
they
I'm
do.
wondering if I might have heard one of them big feet.
You might
Only one
have.
of them.
You might have. Only one. Not two. Just one. 1 foot. But no, I mean, over here in the Appalachian Mountains, there are quite a few teams that go out. When we went to the Mothman Festival, there was a guy getting equipment out. Remember that dude? It was like Bigfoot equipment because he had like the sound bar to mimic cry and everything. That's what he was doing.
He was there for Mothman. I just like the guy who was telling us about the hodag.
Hodag. We'll do a whole episode on that.
Or is it the modag? It's either the hoe or the modag.
Hold on, I actually found this really cute picture.
But the way he said it, because apparently it's from Wisconsin.
And he was dressed up as it, and it was so cute.
Handing out flyers about the hodag. He said, if you like Mothman, you probably like the hodag.
Oh, here he is right here.
Oh, it's the hodag.
He looks like a character from Foster's Imaginary Friends.
He really do. You should get that on camera. There.
He's cute. They won't be able to see it.
Just hold it up there.
I don't think.
It'll take. You gotta get past the live bar. We got this. Show them the hodag.
That's the. Let me get out of the shot.
Oh, there you go.
That's the hodag right there.
Oh, that's the hodag.
Anyways, yeah, but.
It shouldn't tell me the hodag would really.
There's actually 2 Bigfoot festivals.
What do we got
in Tennessee that I know of? There's probably bigger ones. There's the Smoky Mountain one, and then there's the.
Which is the Nashville one.
No, the one in Middle Tennessee. It's not Nashville. It's in Crossville. I think it's Upper Cumberland Bigfoot Festival or something like that. We're going to try to go into them, and we'll vlog and take you guys with us. My friend went to the Smoky Mountain one and said it was a blast. There is actually...
If our secret plan works, we will certainly be there.
There is a... We need to go up to Gatlinburg because there is a popcorn company called Bigfoot... It's like Bigfoot Popcorn Co. or something like that. And their emblem is like Bigfoot, and they have all these cool, crazy popcorn flavors.
Are we going to go to Gatlinburg in mid-July?
Probably. That's when the festival is.
Gonna just hit town and our throat is dry.
Anyways, so Bigfoot is kind of a big thing around here.
Yeah, he's like 10 or 15 feet tall. He's quite big.
Which I think is really cool. And I mean, you have Harry and the Hendersons. Wasn't he a Bigfoot?
Oh yeah, like you're uncultured.
Yeah. So like, there's so much pop culture about Bigfoot. Anyways, I just love him so much. So I want to talk
The
about.
main question though that I have is Bigfoot's cake better than Mothman's?
No.
Well, like, you can't really see it because of all the hair, but what if you like shave that thing
Don't come to my.
and it's just like bam, like Kardashian.
You come to my table, you insult my child.
Mothman's not your child.
He is. He's my best friend. We email in AOL Instant Messenger. No, Mothman is my... I can't wait to do a Mothman episode. Probably going to plan one for season 2 because he's my literal favorite cryptid of all time.
We'll do it.
When we go, yeah. We're going to vlog when we're up there too.
October.
Yeah. We'll vlog
Can
when
we
we
show
go.
them the pizza that I'm probably not going to eat because of mushrooms?
Yeah, we'll pick the mushrooms off of it. So I want to tell you about 3 encounters real quick, okay? So, 1924, picture this.
It's in black and white.
Battle of Ape Canyon.
Oh, Lord.
You ready for this?
Yeah, hit me with a dog.
Miners fought off many ape-like men that were throwing rocks onto their cabin roof from a cliff. One was said to be shot with a rifle, but got away.
Alright, so I'm going to stop right here. The first thing that came to my mind when she said miners were fighting off was a bunch of kids fighting off Big Feet.
And they were like, get out of here!
Come on now, get.
It's my daddy's land!
This shoe.
I can talk like that because I grew up in the holler. But anyways, yeah, so, I mean, way back then, they was fighting off the Bigfoot.
I mean, now that is possible.
Or it could very well be indigenous, or miners from competing companies.
Miner 49ers.
Miner 49er. That was one of my favorite Scooby-Doo episodes. So we're going to fast forward to the 70s real quick.
Oh, Lord.
This one's pretty wild.
50 years in the future. What do we got?
1974. Albert Ostman, a Canadian prospector, claimed to have been held captive for 6 days by a Bigfoot family in Toba Inlet, British Columbia. That was the whole plot of Harry and the Hendersons, except for they just took Harry in. Was he really? Like, what did they do? Like, feed him raw meat?
Have a slice of cracked raccoon.
Like, you know what I mean? They kidnapped him for 6 days. I don't believe you.
I'm sorry, I have questions for you, Albert.
Albert is... I don't believe him. The last one is the one I wanted to tell you about on the phone because I was cackling. We were slow at work today, so I was looking up just a couple little things to talk about.
Hit me with it.
And I want to watch this. So, 2021, okay?
Ooh, a recent one.
A Hulu documentary called Sasquatch describes marijuana farmers telling stories of Bigfoots harassing them in the 70s through the late 90s.
So you lay out there, you got your little funny cigarette.
Sasquatch out there just
your
burning.
Lefted cigarette, and there he was.
Sasquatch is out there with Willie Nelson. You can't tell me anything different.
Freaking his army of Cheech and Chong. Got a little Willie in there. That's why he spends so much time in Washington.
So I want to look and see about watching that because I bet it is hilarious.
I could concur.
But no, I was cackling when I read that. I mean, of course, it's just claimed up to be stories to scare people away from the marijuana.
Get away from my pot farm.
Yeah, basically.
We're gonna put it on Hulu. Get away from my pot farm.
but I was when I read that, I was like, they really think that Bigfoot's out there harassing them over pot. Like, really?
Hey man, it grows in the woods, man.
I was like, I don't know.
Yeah, my favorite Bigfoot story was the gentleman who sold the gorilla suit that they had stuffed with meat and put in a deep freezer that they had, the Bigfoot they had killed.
Oh my
God. And they sold the carcass for, it was like $500,000.
Someone actually bought it?
Somebody bought it.
They didn't test it or anything, they just bought it?
Oh, apparently it was like an online auction type deal. So they purchased it and came out. So to make it more authentic, they unplugged the freezer so it had a nice ripe smell.
Oh my!
Oh,
that turns my stomach.
Refroze it. Those guys. I think they were like arrested and/or sued.
Oh my gosh! Well, yeah. That's terrible.
Imagine buying a cooler from me for $500,000.
And these people, in their mind, they were like, "This is it."
That's a more recent thing too. That's like I think it was like mid 2000s.
Wow.
Yeah.
And they were like, "This is it, boys. We hit the lottery for cryptids."
I mean, it was they had a really good backstory. There was like 2 or 3 of them, and like all their stories like lined up, and it was like a documentary about it or something,
Wow.
or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, they had their whole backstory, how they came about it, how they shot it, stuffed it in the freezer.
Oh my god.
And it was literally just like a furry suit stuffed with meat.
Why? Oh my gosh. But
I found a great pleasure in that story.
in closing, do you believe in Bigfoot?
I believe that there's a lot of heavily wooded area, and it's very possible for things to be out there that we just haven't found yet. Scientists literally find species all the time. Granted, they're not that big. I would think that, there would be more evidence found
By now.
by now, especially with the amount of people going out to the woods and
hunting for Bigfoot.
Right, more coverage, I also feel like there's a lot of people who jump at shadows too. But I want to believe.
I do too. I really do. I think that there's so much that
like out there
we
in
don't know.
the Canadian wilderness and what have you, and then
But there's not a lot of logging and farmers, and it's just like protected state land.
yeah, like I'm talking about like the places that like you got to hike for like half a freaking day to even get to.
Yeah.
Actually, longer because
Right. I mean, I feel the same way. In my heart, I want cryptids to exist. Like, Mothman is real. But anyways.
Hey, I've seen the El Chupanee breed, don't you?
Like Chupacabra and, you know, like Nessie. And, like, I want cryptids to be real because I think they're so cool. And it's so fascinating. And I think that if there is something like that out there, then we won't find it, especially like Bigfoot, because it's said to be semi-intelligent. We're not going to find it until like it wants to be found.
You misread that. It's semi-intelligent. He drives a truck. I seen him.
Oh my lord.
He was at the Loves over there on I-85.
Anyways, I think that maybe more evidence will come out someday. I don't know. I mean, the government dropped that stuff about UFOs. Maybe they'll drop some stuff about, hey, we got Nessie in an aquatic tank.
Well, while we have him here, because they also say that he's like an interdimensional being. I don't really buy that one.
I don't buy that one. Nessie, there's a cool theory on that. One, I do an episode on Nessie. We'll talk about that. But there is that theory, and I don't see Bigfoot walking
through
like
another dimensions. Well, like, what if there's... Yeah.
What if there's a dimension where Bigfoot is doing a podcast right now on whether we exist? What if we're cryptids? It's deep. I'll be here all night. Thank you.
Well, she won't be, like, here.
No. After this, I'm gonna go snuggle with my cats and go to bed. But, I mean, I think that Bigfoot could very well be real. We just haven't found him. And I think that there's different, like, tribes of them, so to say, because different regions say they look slightly different. Like, some have more brown fur, some have darker fur, some have a stripe on them, some are, more reddish fur. I think that if there is Bigfoot in the world, then they kind of adapt to their surroundings. Kind of like humans do. We evolve and adapt to our climates and everything. I just really want him to be real.
If you're hearing this, we will find you.
Bigfoot, we just want to hang out with you. We won't even tell anyone. We'll just hang out. Why are you looking at him like that? Don't stare at him like that.
You're gonna get a haircut.
No. Maybe braid. What if we French braid his hair?
Oh my god. Can you imagine if he had like an undercut though? He just like rolls out, side shaved, mullet.
All the girl Bigfoot would be like, oh my god,
he drinks PBR. You can't convince me otherwise. No, he's like either a craft or like a IPA kind of guy.
Yeah, true.
Damn
Probably.
Hipsters.
But all right, well, thank you guys for tuning in for this rambly, fun episode. I just wanted to talk about something cool this week. So I chose...
Why didn't you talk about me?
I chose Bigfoot. Wow, what a stretch. What a guy.
Oh, this actually feels really good.
Oh, gosh. All right, well, we will tune in to you guys next week with another new episode. Go check out our past episodes. Link to Anchor will be down below. Go give it a listen. Once we get to 50 listeners on there, I will be doing a giveaway, which will be fun. We'll be giving away the things. But thanks so much, and we'll see you next week. Bye, guys. Bye. Don't creepy wave at them. Nice wave. Oh, now look.